You start? 3. Okay. How's it going, you guys? Welcome back to Barrow Consulting and Wealth Management. So today we wanted to discuss with you just simply financial awareness, and I wanted to cover 4 different topics when it comes to finances, how it relates to you, offer you guys some solutions, what you could do. It's actually a fill in the blanks, so as you guys are writing, you could write this down, you could take notes, but as I'm filling it in, you can fill it in. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the lack of financial education. So finances, just simply in overall, just in education, finance is actually not something that is taught in high school, taught in any school, taught in even college for that matter. So the lack of financial education, there's no, I mean, I went to high school, I went to college, there was never any Money 101 class that taught us about investing and 401ks and how to do all these certain things. So because of the lack of financial education, what comes from that is poor savings habits, and what I think, and in my opinion, the millennial generation, and I am a millennial, but the millennial generation is actually one of the generations that have the worst saving habits, just simply because we weren't taught these things. We weren't taught these things from our parents, and it's just something that is not discussed enough today. So poor savings habits, which also in turn leads to financial stress, because simply we don't have money to save. We don't have any emergency funds. We aren't taught how to save 5 to 10% of our income, and which also in turn leads to, if you're ever going through a crisis, and for example, right now, a crisis that we're going through is the coronavirus, and as I'm paying attention to human behavior and studying people, they aren't scared of the virus itself. They're scared of being out of work and being quarantined and not being able to pay their bills, being able to pay their utilities and things like that. So for that, fill in there is actually fear. So I want you guys to write that down. Just simply fear due to the lack of financial education. Now, my next topic here is debt. So when it comes to debt, everybody is in debt. I'm sure if you're watching this and you're not in debt, you probably know somebody in debt, but every single household is in some kind of debt, whether it's credit cards, student loan debt. Now, what I want you guys to understand is people do not have a debt problem, and a lot of people think, oh, you know, I have a debt problem, I have a lot of debt. It's actually not a debt problem. What it is it is an income problem. So that's what the fill in here, so you can fill that in. What you have is an income problem. You're simply spending money that you don't have. You're spending money on credit cards and you don't have enough money to spend. You don't have a debt problem, you have an income problem. So the average credit card debt, this is just a statistic for you guys, the average credit card debt per household, this is per household, credit card debt, just credit card, we're not factoring in student loans. The average credit card debt, $16,000 of debt per household in just credit cards. So the next topic that we're going to be discussing today is failing Social Security. So what a lot of families, what a lot of people don't understand is that Social Security right now, there is not enough money going into Social Security as there is coming out of Social Security, simply because there's not enough people in the workforce. So by 2037, they're projecting that if we don't make any changes, if we don't fix any mistakes or do anything different, Social Security will be completely exhausted and there will be no Social Security. But in my opinion, so insufficient Social Security by 2037. So I want you guys to write that down, 2037. Now, what I want you guys to understand is that, in my opinion, I don't think the government will let Social Security fail. Everybody has their own opinion when it comes to this specifically, but I do not think that the government will let Social Security fail. And what I think they will do, they will have a solution to it. It's pretty much their solution for almost everything, is they will raise taxes. So what's going to happen is they won't let Social Security fail because they're going to increase taxes, right? So that's going to hurt us in the long run, and I want you guys to write that down as well. Taxes will be increased. So what I want to jump into now is retirement. So when it comes to retirement, we are trained, we are taught all the exact same way. There's a reason, if I were to ask you guys right now, when is it that we retire? What age do we retire? You would probably say 65. The reason being is because you have access to Social Security benefits, which we just discussed is planning to be completely exhausted. So that's if we reach and get anything from Social Security. And then on top of that, you have, so the two ways that we're taught are your 401k and Social Security. Those are the two accounts that we are taught and trained to retire with. Now, if I were to ask you how well has that been working, you would probably say not very well. And you see it all the time. You see older people working simply because majority of the time it's not because they want to work, it's because they have to work. And you see them, they're bagging your groceries into certain stores, they're greeting you on the way in, they are checking receipts on the way out. That's not because they want to work, it's because they have to work and they've completely run out of their retirement fund. So what I call that, and if you're watching this and you don't know anything other than 401k and Social Security, it's simply because, and what I call the blind leading the blind. So it's the blind leading the blind, and you just haven't been taught yet. So now what I want to offer are different solutions to this. So I didn't just want to go over statistics, I just didn't want to go over facts. So I want to cover very simple solutions when it comes to this, and just maybe something you haven't heard or something that you haven't been taught, and I hope that you get value from that. So when it comes to the lack of financial education, the solution is very simple, you guys. Educate yourself. There's videos, you're watching this either on the page, you're watching this on YouTube. Educate yourself. There's books, there's videos, there's other YouTube channels where they cover things like this. And it's a very simple solution. So if you think you're going to learn this stuff in college as you kind of go through it, you're really not. And a college is very expensive, and education is completely free. So educating yourself on just these topics is something that you can totally do on your own. Now, when it comes to debt, right? As I mentioned, we don't have a debt problem. We have an income problem. We're spending money that we do not have. So the solution to that, very simple. Two easy solutions. Make more money or stop spending money that you don't have, right? So, but those are the two solutions when it comes to debt. Now, failing Social Security, as we mentioned, the issue with the Social Security is that they're going to be increasing taxes. To not let it fail, taxes will be increased. So with that being said, would you rather pay taxes now or would you rather pay taxes later when it is, if there's more to pay, right? So that's completely on you which bucket that you want to be in. But knowing the simple fact that it's increasing, which one would you rather do, pay now or pay later? So pay on the seed or pay on the harvest, right? So, and then when it comes to retirement, very simple. Educate yourself. When it comes to retirement, all I knew was 401k and Social Security. There are other vehicles. There's independent retirement accounts. There's different type of accounts that you can get into that will insure and protect your money, make sure that you do not lose any money, and make sure that you do not outlive your retirement. So that's a solution for that, is simply educating yourself on what there is out there in the market. It's something that we do on this channel, on this page. So that's it, you guys. Those are the 4 solutions for the 4 different topics that we covered, just simply for financial awareness. I hope you got some value today. If you did, feel free to like it, share it, send it to somebody. But thanks for coming back. Have a good day.